Next, it's so good. I mean, I don't think we've met, but we've talked on the phone quite a bit. And I love polo. I've always loved polo. Jessica Cole here from the Maui Polo Club is here. And a big aloha. How are you today?
Aloha, doing really well. Thanks for having me.
Well, polo's got an interesting history on Maui. And I was shocked when I did a little research on this that the Polo Club started in 1887. 1887. And that's amazing. 1887. Wow.
That's right. Yeah, actually, speaking of Haleakala Ranch, they are one of the founding families of polo, and they still participate in the sport with us. Their families play actually this upcoming cup annually, which is the
big cup.
The big cup, the Manduke Baldwin Cup, and
is this weekend?
It's on Monday. Yeah, exactly, and they play for belt
on Memorial Day Monday
every year. And they play for belt buckles, so the stakes are high.
Was the original polo field there? Where was the original polo played?
There have been a few different polo fields. I have taken the presidency of the club in the last few years, so I personally haven't seen all of them, but there was a field called Racetrack that was up the hill from the arena field, which is the one that you see today when you drive by King Kekaulike High School. That's the arena field.
But there was a racetrack, an actual racetrack up there.
You know, that's what they called it. They called it the racetrack.
It must have been, right?
Yeah.
Did you know about that, Charlene?
That's where we have our Ag in the Classroom program, at the racetrack field.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Yeah. At the racetrack field? Where's that?
It's, if you're going, do you know where their headquarters is?
Yeah.
Their headquarters, Haleakala Ranch.
Yeah.
And so if you turn out of that little triangle place towards Seabury School, Seabury High, it's the right turn. So you go straight up that mountain. But it's gated. It's private access, but it's beautiful.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
So beautiful.
Wow.
Really spectacular. And then Ka'ono'ulu Ranch is our other landlord.
That's back behind Eddie Rice?
Behind the Oski Rice
Oski
rodeo
Rice,
ground.
Yeah. Oski Rice, and you usually, when you go there, you have to go over dirt road to get back there. I've been there, too, and seen it.
Yeah, and once you get through to the actual polo field, the whole world kind of drops away, and you can see all of Maui, all the way to the West Maui's. So it's quite a nice spot as well.
It definitely is. Well, the polo happens twice a year here, which is interesting. It happens in the spring, and then you have it in the fall as well. Mm-hmm. This season ends in June.
So we have two seasons. We have what we call our arena season, and we have our outdoor polo season. And our arena season is different. It's a smaller arena. It's 3 players on each team instead of 4.
Whoa, that is smaller.
Yeah, and the polo switches directions and is a lot more high contact, and the audience and the fans really feel like they're participating because they can hear almost every word uttered out there on the polo field. So it's kind of like hockey on on horseback.
Well, you know, it's interesting because polo on Maui is really kind of different than polo in other places. Mm-hmm. You see everything from Appaloosas to all kinds of interesting horses that are upcountry horses. And some places, I know it's gotten huge now in South America, right? It's become a big, big deal. And you have an Argentinian player that's going to be playing. You have several?
Yeah. So Katie Baldwin is married to an Argentine former pro. His name is Ie Oshaval Emiliano. He's from Argentina. We have a visiting player who's living and working on Molokai right now, Enrique Diaz. He's from Argentina originally, and he's traveled all over the world to play. And, of course, our local Herman Louis DeCoit has traveled all over the world as well to play. He's our polo pro and kind of master of ceremonies and protocol at the Polo Club. And he played starting, I think, in the early 70s with Peter Baldwin, and they went all over the United States.
And it's interesting. I'm sure everywhere they've gone, there's got to have been a lot of curiosity about what polo on Maui's like. And you've had, over the years, a lot of teams come from other locations to come to visit as well.
Yeah, we do have folks that it is a curiosity. It is a very unique culture to have polo in, because we're very Paniolo, we're very cowboy, and the horses that we use are go-to ranch horses, so they have very wide areas of capability. You know, a lot of them have been into the crater, or up Haleakala National Park, and
wow,
a lot of them have worked actual cattle drives
and cutting maybe.
Yeah, cutting, roping.
So they can turn on a dime.
Yeah, there's exactly. There's a big crossover between the rodeo world and the polo world, and I think one wouldn't really exist here without the other, because
interesting. I never would have thought of that.
The ranching families that founded the sport here, they perpetuate roping as well. You know, they're very much a part of that rodeo community, and one of the silver linings is that we have all these kids who come up riding as soon as they can walk, and they are some of the best riders that folks who come in from the continental United States, they say, wow, they've never seen kids ride like this.
Well, it's multi-generational.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the Baldwin family, let's go into the history of why you're doing this special celebration. And the polo field, of course, was named there, the one that's on, give us a little history on this.
Well, there were 3 families, I gather, who were involved in the founding of this cup. And Manduke himself was a huge fan of polo. He is Katie Baldwin's father, I believe, or was. He's passed on now. And they, out of passion and love for the sport, and they make sure to put this cup on every year. And it's a great opportunity for us to honor those who came before us and those who still help us make the sport possible here on the slopes of Haleakala.
So this one started about how many years ago was it then when that happened?
Oh, it must have been, let's see, no, a lot longer than that. Herman Louis was just talking to me about it this morning. Yeah. He was saying it goes back to maybe the late 80s.
Oh, is it really? 80s?
Yeah,
wow.
Maybe,
That's quite a history then.
Well, it might have been that it became a memorial cup after that, but it's been something that the 3 families would traditionally play against each other. And it would be the Rice family, the Baldwin family, and of course, I'm forgetting the 3rd family. They've recently moved to New Zealand. I guess not recently, but in the last 20 years, Van something. But one of the original ranch families on the island of Maui.
Van Kempsky?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So they were one of the 3 families that would play here for this cup traditionally.
So when you have a unique environment like you do here on Maui, it's interesting because you draw the local ohana, the very supportive people. But it also, I mean, I remember coming here when I was just here my first time. I was here for 6 months before I moved here finally in 1986. And I would love going up there. And so I imagine you still get visitors who come.
We do. It's a great spot because it's right next to the highway where folks go up to the national park. And we have people who will email ahead and ask us, is polo happening? Of course, we're a weather-dependent sport.
Yes,
so
yeah.
I always say, if all goes well, yes, we'll be playing. And then, of course, we have participants come in as well. So they'll contact us or Herman Louis, the pro, and ask for horses, and they might even jump in and play.
Wow. And you've had people come. Mention some of the countries. I know England for sure. You've had people from England.
Yeah, we've had England.
Argentina, of course.
Argentina, New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
Mexico. We've had Chile. Folks really from all walks of life and all over Australia. And then all of the polo clubs on all the islands. There's the Big Island has a polo club, Mauna Kea Polo Club. Oahu has 2, the Hawaii Polo Club, and
But this Maui's the oldest, isn't it?
Well, Maui's the oldest club.
Yeah.
But all of the clubs would take credit for the very first polo game, I would think.
Ah, okay.
So
because they all brought players together to play.
Yeah, and because of the early British influence in colonial Hawaii, I guess, if that's the correct term, the very first polo game in the United States was played in Hawaii before anybody else on the mainland.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and Hawaii Polo Club is where I learned that, and they're on Oahu. So I think it might have been at Kapiolani Park which of course.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, they used to have a full stables there and a weekly game.
Wow. I'm trying to imagine what that must have been like.
I know. I would love to have a reenactment someday, but
wouldn't that be something?
I think the sprinkler system would get destroyed.
There's a lot of work maintaining a polo because the horses really, I mean, it is obvious on grass, but the horses chew up the grass pretty well. And if you have a muddy day or something like that, it rained the day before or something, it can even be more damage. So there's a lot of work just maintaining the field, right?
Yeah, and our fields, we baby them. There's a lot of grass. You know, at night when it rains, I can hear the grass growing, and I think about how I have to get somebody out there. And we spend a lot of time thinking about it, talking about it, and making sure it's safe, really. Safety.
Do you have to have special, who gets in charge of that? I mean, the groundskeeper, is that?
Yeah, I have a field manager, Robert Dana McDonald. He's also a polo player, and he's actually mowing as we speak.
Seriously?
Seriously. He mows 6 days a week. Monday's his only day off.
Wow.
Pretty much.
He rides that mower instead of a horse, huh?
Both. He does both.
I've heard many stories about families that start, I think more girls than boys, start riding at a young age and doing polo at a young age. There's actually a team of young players, isn't there?
Correct. Yeah, we have 2 teams that were interscholastic this year. Both of them traveled to the nationals.
Really?
Yeah, and
wow.
We hosted the regionals here in Hawaii. Unfortunately, on Maui, we had some bad weather, so the footing wasn't great, and we only got 1 or 2 of the games in, and so they ended up going to nationals. But the Wahines had played regionals in California and won for the West Coast.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they went to Texas and played nationals, came 3rd in the nation.
That's great. How old was the group?
They're freshmen to juniors right now.
I kind of remember when they're raising money for that.
Yeah, and we got to get better at raising money for them because they've really excited about taking the bull by the horns and going for it again.
That's an interesting polo phrase, but it comes from the rodeo.
Yeah.
And taking that bull by the horns.
Yeah, grabbing their mallets and, swinging for the nationals, I guess.
But it is expensive. And of course they can't ride their horses.
Right, when they go there. Yeah.
So, and a lot of these kids are used to riding their horses, so you're taking it. That it's got to be hard because you're riding a different horse you don't know.
Right, and which is where we're very grateful that a lot of these girls are phenomenal riders. So, and young men too. They're also great riders because, like I said, some of them are out roping cattle with their family when they're 4, 5, 6 years old, probably 5 or 6. But like Daniel Miranda, he's out winning rodeos and roping, and he picks up a mallet and jumps on any horse.
Seriously, can do amazing.
So we're very fortunate that these kids have so much confidence and are such strong riders that they can go and get on some of these horses that they've never met before.
I was talking to Jillian Vickers about her horse camp. She goes down to South America and she goes to the polo games. I guess down there you can stay at places and play all around the countryside down there, which I thought, well, wouldn't that be an amazing vacation? Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? So when did you start playing polo?
Well, I actually didn't start playing polo until I met my boyfriend, and the very first chat that we had with each other was about horses.
And no surprise.
Yeah, but I had been riding since I was about 6 years old.
Me too.
Yeah.
I started when I was about 6, yeah.
But I was a hunter jumper.
I was riding thoroughbreds.
Right.
I was riding ex-race horses off the track.
Nice. So you would be well suited to polo then, because
I've always wanted to play. I've never ever played. But I'm used to big horses. I'm not used to, although I had an Arabian, registered Arabian, with some Egyptian blood. So they're smaller, obviously.
Yeah.
But
and also a little more kind of hard to keep up with those Arab horses.
But a big horse is different. I mean, my horse has always been pretty big. One I had was 18 hands. But on a small horse, you're obviously it's great that you're so close to the ground, so you don't have to reach down so far.
Right. And some folks
that's why they call them polo ponies,
the polo
right?
ponies, because they're kind of like little dirt bikes. You can get where you need to go.
I never thought of that. Oh my gosh.
And when I met my other half and I said, let's go meet your horses, he brought me over to meet the horses, and I was like, these aren't horses. What are you talking? He's 6'5", so
Oh
I
my
expected
gosh.
he would have a good size horse, and they're 15.1 to 15.3.
Oh my gosh, his
I
feet
know.
were almost on the
I
ground.
said, "Are these even horses? I mean, these are technically ponies, right?"
exactly.
And he was all offended. He said, "Yeah, they're horses.
No, they're ponies.
They're
Is it 15?
15 hands and
15.6 is a horse. 15.
15 and over, I think.
Yeah.
And then below that, 14 hands and lower. 14.
But you do have bigger horses that play.
Yeah, we do. We do have bigger players, and the bigger players tend to have bigger horses.
So the polo, as I remember, because I always studied horses when I was a young girl, with chuckers. Is it 8 chuckers?
It's
How much?
if we were doing it in kind of tournament level, mainland Florida, Wellington kind of style, it would be 6 chuckers. But we traditionally do 4 on Maui because you need a different horse every chucker.
Yeah, some of these people have 8 horses. Yeah.
So
Because it's very tiring. It's very hard on a horse
Right.
when you think about. A lot of people are watching the Kentucky Derby or the Preakness. I mean, these horses are going full steam when you have a racetrack like that. It's 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes at most. But how long is each chucker?
each chucker is 7.5 minutes.
So you can see where it
Yeah.
exhausts the horse.
And it's like interval training because it's stop, go,
Yeah.
turn, stop, turn,
Yeah.
bump, bump. It's also high contact, so you're asking your horses to do things that they wouldn't normally do with each other in the pasture, which is they come up shoulder to shoulder and they bump each other to take the ball, to take the line of the ball.
I knew they were next to each other, but I didn't really know that it was legal to bump each other.
It's illegal to bump hard, but you can.
Who decides that?
Well, we have very good umpires.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
You
called-
can bump, but don't bump too hard.
You can't bump into the wall, and you can't bump so hard that the other horse gets knocked off their, center of gravity, anything like that. So
That was just one of the issues in the Kentucky Derby, which is
yeah.
still being looked at.
Right.
Whether maximum security was whether
Yeah.
you really bumped a horse off its track or not.
yeah,
There's a big high price to pay for that one.
and we pay attention to horse lengths as well. We pay attention
do
to
you?
how many horse lengths ahead or behind somebody is when they jump onto a line. And
Interesting.
it's a lot of folks don't realize that when those horses are really opening up,
Yeah.
those legs are way out in front of them
Oh,
and
yeah.
way out behind them.
Yeah.
So sometimes it looks like they had plenty of space, but if somebody was in there and it was less than one length away, everybody would go falling down. So we try and keep it real safe with folks kind of creating distance between themselves.
In this particular case here, also, everyone knows everyone else, You don't want to go make bad blood
No.
by doing something wrong here because it's your neighbor and it's like, oh,
Right.
you're going to and then you're going to play again real soon. So
Right,
you don't want to.
and we have so many keiki around, and we have so many. It's such a growing sport with lots of wahines, and everybody really happy to be there and be on their horse, and their horses are happy to have a job. We try and focus on.
Did you just say the horses
Yeah, they're happy to
are
work.
happy to have a job? I love it. The horses are
Yeah.
happy to. Can you tell if the horse is happy to?
Well, that's one of the things I love about polo because first and foremost, I'm a lover of horses. So I love seeing these horses go to work every day.
Yeah.
They live in a herd. They live with their friends.
Yeah.
They march onto the trailer. They march off together.
And they
tie
know
up. They
they're
go.
gonna-
Yep. I have a Palomino named Dolly, and she's fierce. Like she goes out on that field and she puts her game face on.
And you can tell.
I can tell.
She's there to go
She's
for it.
got that fire in her belly, and
Uh-huh.
she's ready. So we have a few horses like that, and I've really enjoyed seeing and learning that these creatures love to have a job, love to have a purpose.
There is something in horses where I can tell that is the truth, that it rings true to me, because horses try so hard.
They do.
I mean, you can see it. That's in the races. You can see how hard they're trying. And in polo, it's an interesting, different kind of thing. But because it's very, very challenging for the riders and the horses,
It
and
is.
there really has to be of one mind.
Right.
You have
Yeah.
to be so in tune with your horse, and your horse has to be so in tune with you. Otherwise, you're going to be on the ground real fast.
Exactly. A lot of our polo players spend the majority of their time tuning up, checking on nutrition, feeding, worming.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're a very high level of detail to the health and well-being of these animals. Our partners, basically, they are 90%.
Thank you.
of
They're
the sports.
partners.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. Well, let's. We have only a couple of minutes left. Let's talk about the event this Monday, a Memorial Day weekend Monday. Tell me about it, and in the last couple of minutes, tell people how they can get up there and how they get tickets and everything.
Well, the Polo Arena, the Manduke Baldwin Arena, is up Haleakala Highway. You can enter one of two gates off of the highway, and it's $10 a person. And this weekend we'll be featuring cowboy polo, which is a tradition at this cup, and then, of course, the cup itself.
And the cowboy polo is on the same day on Monday, or is it?
It's on the same day.
So what time does that start?
Well, gates open at noon, and that'll start around 1:30.
With the cowboy polo.
Exactly, and folks are welcome to tailgate, bring a picnic, and enjoy the music and the entertainment.
You do have some bleachers.
We do have some bleachers.
But they fill up pretty quickly.
Actually, we still have some bleachers there from the regionals that we hosted.
Oh, good.
So they haven't filled up yet. I'd love to see them full this weekend.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
I'm thinking sunshine all the way.
It's been dry for a bit here,
Right.
but so if people want to come early, still the gate's still open at 12, though.
Gates open at 12, and they're welcome to come early. That is early.
Yeah.
So
and 1 o'clock is when you start.
1:30, and customarily on Sundays, which we'll be doing this every Sunday until the third Sunday in June. We make sure to have keiki polo, but at this particular cup, we stick to the traditional cowboy and the main.
Well, some of the best players coming out for this.
Yeah, that's
so you're
right.
going to see some good polo.
Yeah, Herman Louis, who I've mentioned a few times, he is a showman in the arena. He used to play in the Los Angeles arena at high speed polo, celebrity polo, and he really does awe the audience because he can hit a back shot to goal without even looking at the goal, and he can
That's
hit
something.
Yeah,
That's
he's fun to watch.
Now you have a very good website. I was
Thank
impressed
you.
with your website. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
Is that your job also, or no?
I work on it actually with Robert, who's the field manager, and yeah.
When you're president of the
extraordinaire.
Maui Polo field, you have to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Many hats. So what's the website for you?
It's MauiPoloClub.com.
MauiPoloClub.com. Well, it's a wonderful part of Maui's history. It's a lot of fun to watch. And it's really something that you can get into, and it's a great thing to do on Memorial Day weekend. But then it will continue on till the third Sunday in June.
Yeah, and our
as well.
schedule is posted online. And if you like us on Facebook and Instagram, we always update if there's any kind of weather change. So it's worth staying tuned there.
Well, it's been a treat talking to you. Thank you so much, Jessica. It's been a lot of
Cindy.
fun. Aloha.
Aloha.